Welcome to Pretty Lies and Alibis. Join us as we seek the truth and travel the long road to justice. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Pretty Lies and Alibis. I'm Gigi. Fruit Loop, what you know?
Did you know that a pineapple plant can only produce one pineapple a year?
Really?
Yeah, so after fruiting, I thought that's funny. After fruiting,
A drive-by fruiting.
hey, I was going to say, it reminded me of Mrs. Doubtfire. It's a drive-by fruiting. The plant dies. However, before it dies, it also produces an offspring. These plantlets are then grown into another pineapple.
That's really cool.
I love some fresh pineapple.
I want a Dole Whip from Disney World right about now.
I always see recipes. Look, I'm not on Facebook at all right now. So I'm on Pinterest. Dude, they got all kind of recipes on there for some Dole Whip.
Why don't you whip up one and we'll try it? Or why don't we just go back to Disney World?
There you go.
Ooh, all right. So real quick, we want to give a big thank you to Justine for the donation on PayPal. We really appreciate that.
Thank you, Justine.
Yes, thank you very much. And I said
very.
Thank you very much. And also, thank you to one of our sponsors, Too Cool T-Shirt Quilts. You can go to toocooltshirtquilts.com/Pretty Lies and Alibis. Check them out. And we appreciate their support. So my youngest had a little surgical procedure this morning. Dude, we had to be there at 6:00 in the morning.
My surgery, I had to be there at 5:15.
Oh my gosh, she's fine. She's fine. It was nothing major. It was her first time under anesthesia, and they had Disney Plus in there. So they asked, what did she want to watch while they're starting her anesthesia? And she said Hamilton, and her nurse came out and said she had us dead. Like, she was singing at the top of her lungs, and then she just kind of drifted off. So anyway, she did good. She's back there laying in the bed, and I have had no sleep. So after this, going night-night. Real quick. So if you're newer to us, we have done a couple of pretty big backstory episodes on Harmony Montgomery. Just a terrible story out of New Hampshire. Little girl, 8 years old, had not been seen for 2 years, and it was not discovered until November of this past year. So she went missing in kind of late November to early December. 2 years later, nobody missed this baby. Well, so the dad's in jail, and he's got a felony charge related to hitting her. But and then I don't know if it's his wife or whatever, she's been arrested. There was some fraud for Social Security, but then she's out on bond, and now they just rearrested her for perjury. It's just very convoluted. Go listen to our backstory. But today I'm on Twitter, and I see that the FBI is in force at a residence that used to be the dad's. His name is Adam. His wife is Kayla, at one of their former residences. And I mean, when you see this show of force, I don't think this is on a hunch.
Former residences is what's creepy.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you think all of a sudden they started there last night. I don't know in what capacity. They haven't given any press releases. They expect to be there throughout the night tonight. But here's my question. Is it the wife, Kayla, talking? Is it a tip, or perhaps a new tenant?
Yeah, dude, that happened on Law and Order and CSI and all that all the time. Somebody move into a house and find something in a wall or something.
I mean, and here's what we've so far, just with press and what they've been putting out on Twitter, we've seen them bring out pieces of interior surfaces. It's hard to tell if it's like wall or cabinet or what. And also just devastating to see a refrigerator. And they wrapped it in some black plastic and put some biohazard tape on that, which, I mean, is just the biggest clue that they have found something biological in that refrigerator. It is just, they were also looking through the sewers with cameras. So back in January, if you remember, they used some ground thawing equipment to search the backyard of a former residence of Adams with no luck. And I just have a really bad feeling about this. And her picture, man, she was such a cute little thing. And it's, again, if you go listen to the backstory, this is another kid who fell through the cracks between two different states of Child Protective Services. and you have, her dad, who is a very struggling addict, being given custody. She
Yeah.
has a brother who now has been adopted out.
You think, how does a kid just come up missing and nobody notices?
That's my thing. How does
That's what's
nobody
tough.
miss that baby for 2 solid years? It
Yeah.
just breaks my heart. It's like Orrin and Orson West.
Mhm.
They were missing way before they were reported missing. And
Yeah.
I will never be able to wrap my head around the fact that there are these little children that can be gone for a year, 2 years, and nobody says,
Yeah.
"Where are they?"
Yeah.
So, I'm just thinking about this poor little baby tonight. I hope, if I don't think she's alive. I hope that, they can have some resolution,
Yeah.
because it's just sad stuff. And man, 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 CPS got to, I mean, on a nationwide scale, has got to be overhauled. It's got to be completely redone.
Well, you think about it, we've seen two different sides, or two different stories, I guess. With Victoria Rose Smith, she was taken from her home, and so now you see her that she was left in the home,
Yep.
and both things happen. So
And then,
yeah,
and with Orrin and Orson West, they were taken from the home,
yeah,
and now kind of the theory with Trezell and Jacqueline West is that these kids were money grabs.
hmm
You get a lot of money to foster, but when it comes time to adopt, all that is your responsibility.
Here's my thing. I've got plenty of friends that adopt, and they're
Yeah.
amazing parents, and they take amazing care of their kids. Uh, it's just sad to see people trying to take advantage of the system when, I mean, they've told me from their own mouths what you have to go through to adopt
Yeah.
and to foster is a lot. And
And how
we did a podcast on that.
we did. And
It's a
and
lot.
it's I think that the hardest thing about it to swallow for me is that it's not usually with the workers, it's with politicians and higher ups that refuse to fund these programs appropriately, to staff these programs appropriately, to where there's enough eyes on these kids to make sure Orrin and Orson doesn't happen,
Yeah,
Victoria Rose doesn't happen, Harmony
yeah,
doesn't happen. It's, you know what I'm saying? We definitely love people who dedicate their lives to making sure kids are safe. Foster parents, there are a million more good ones than bad out there. And hats
yeah,
off to them for bringing a child in, and sometimes those children have major issues.
yeah.
So, but I think, like, as a society, we've got to be like, put the money in the system.
Yeah. I want to say, parents, just get it right.
Yeah.
I mean, take care of your kids. Like,
Yeah, and it goes into, a lot of times what we see is that these kids are taken out for addiction issues, and addiction is a disease, and it
mhm,
is just, it's not a light switch. I feel for people that have addictions that are crippling, because it's almost like a cancer that you
mhm,
can't control.
yeah,
You can try and you can try and you can treat and you can treat and you relapse, and it's a vicious cycle. So my heart goes out to addicts as well, because we both know people who are very good people but just got really caught up in bad stuff.
yeah,
And
yep,
so, anyways, enough off that soapbox. We have very little, guys, of these text messages left.
yep.
Like
It's
3
gonna be a
pages.
quick one. Yeah.
There's little meows outside my door.
Y'all know y'all gonna miss all this crazy talk.
Well, I think here is the plan. Tomorrow, hopefully, we'll have an update on Harmony. We'll do that. We're going to take the rest of the week off, because I want to get this Valo Daybell mega series finished. And I would love for us to start this next week. It's going to take a long time to do, but I
Yeah,
think you guys are going to like it. We're putting it all together. We're pulling from every angle into one big timeline. So I think it's going to be really cool. So let's finish up these text messages. And all right. So we left off August the 23rd of 2019. Remember, these are between Chad and Zulema. And so Zulema to Chad on August the 23rd, 2019. At this point, Charles has been murdered. They are close to moving to Rexburg, probably a week and a half away from moving up to Rexburg. Lori, Tylee, JJ, and Alex and Melanie's. So, hello, Chad. I had a conversation with my daughter, Kara, today, and it didn't go well. She doesn't want to go to Rexburg, and she feels like I'm abandoning her. If I leave without her, I feel really bad right now. I had a prompting there. or it's supposed to be the other day to ask you if you could see who she was before this life, she may be able to start seeing truth. I was told this week that I will go to Rexburg eventually, but not right now. So I just need to prepare for when that eventually is. Thank you for always being there for me. I'm so grateful for you.
Chad responds 7 hours later. Uh, Thank you, Zulema. I will find out about Kara. I agree with you about Rexburg. Not immediately, but eventually. I'm so grateful for you too. Let's talk soon. He responds the next day on the 24th at 10 p.m. My phone was acting up. That's what everybody said. My phone was acting up.
Yeah. Lies.
Yeah, but I was able to send Kara's probationary to Lolo. She should have forwarded them to you. Kara is a powerful person. Naturally, the adversary doesn't want her in Idaho and is causing opposition, but I feel Kara's heart will change soon.
Thank you, Chad. You have no idea how much peace your words give me.
You're so very welcome.
Okay, so now we're jumping to September the 2nd. So at this point, the move has happened and just less than a week away from when Tylee's murdered.
Yeah.
Like 6 days. Hello,
Yeah.
Chad. I got very sick yesterday. I was taking a concoction I usually take when I have a kidney stone. As soon as I took it, I felt ill. I had cold sweats. I was dizzy and my stomach hurt so bad. I was in bed all day. I still have a stomach ache and I'm not quite recovered. Did I get attacked? I feel like I have poison in my stomach. Could you work on me and see what's happening? I'm sorry, dude. It's like,
Okay. So here's my question. Where was the light switch that went off that prior to you believing all this stuff, you realized you were just sick?
you had a tummy bug.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, that turns into all this stuff.
Yeah.
So Chad responds several hours later. Hi, Zulema. I have just cleared many spiritual toxins from you. Yes, it was an attack. I am now replacing the poison with light and love.
Oh my goodness. That's why I felt so horrible. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so grateful for you. And then we go to September 15th. Hello, Chad. I'm in Rigby and wanted to see if you could come listen to me talk about my trip to Chile.
Chad responds tonight? Question mark.
Yes, tonight.
He says I can be there at 7:30. Thanks.
Awesome. See you then. So the next day, September 16th, could you check on Kara's boyfriend for me? His name is, well, I'm not going to say his name. Um, I just want to see who he is and if he's good for her.
Yes, I will find out.
Okay. So wait, no,
That's
that's
me.
you. Yeah. Sorry.
So he is a 3 light, 65% light. Previous probation was in mid 1800s in California. Decent person. He's not part of her life's mission, but mom shouldn't say so. I feel she'll soon find out for herself.
Thank you. I will not say anything. Okay. This is September the 24th. This is after JJ
Mm-hmm.
has been murdered. What happens if Trump gets impeached? Does that accelerate things?
Yes, if Trump is somehow removed from office, it will speed up how fast things fall apart.
Okay, so 2 days later on September the 26th, could you see if I'm being attacked or was attacked today? I've been sluggish, headache, anxious, and unsettled all day. Very unusual for me. I had people come in my house today, 3 workers and my landlord to see the roof that's leaking. I'm wondering if one of them left something behind.
Dude, that's your roof is leaking.
You ain't
Uh,
kidding. It is like I got buckets. The insurance company needs to get on the ball. And I still have a
uh,
tree on my house, which
oh, Lord.
Sherlock climbs up now and ends up on the roof of my house. So I went to check
That's
my mail
funny.
today and I heard meowing and I'm like, where are you? And I look and he's just perched on top of the
That's
house. Meow.
that's funny.
Oh
So
God.
he responds, yes, the dark side attached a time bomb to one of the workers and it went off in your house. I've cleared you and the house.
Okay, so
What's he working for the bomb unit for
well,
the
literally
police?
had 2 songs go through my head on the dark side and about what, Eddie and the Cruisers, and then you dropped the bomb on me.
I know you dropped it. I know that one. I
You
don't
know, I
know the
think
other
in
one.
lyrics. And
Yeah.
so Zulema says, "Oh, no wonder I felt so awful. Thank you. I'm so grateful to know you."
You're welcome.
So the same day, Zulema says, my oldest daughter's father was in a very bad motorcycle accident and barely survived. He woke up a couple of days ago and didn't want to let go of her hand while she was at the hospital with him. Today, he told his sister he was hallucinating and seeing dark people behind my daughter, and his sister saying that they were going to take him. I don't think that was hallucinations. I think he was really seeing evil entities. I had a feeling he was going to die until I was allowed to give him a blessing. Do you think they were waiting to take him? His name is, and I'm not going to say his name. I never thought he was dark.
Wow, they think they have so much
Oh
power.
my gosh.
Wow. So Chad responds, he's 3 light. I feel they might have been trying to turn him into a Z, which is a zombie, but they didn't.
Oh no, he was terrified. He said they were whispering about him. Thank heavens they didn't. Thank you for checking on that. And then we move now to October the 1st. Is it possible that the big earthquake will not happen? Is it possible to bring enough light and fight enough evil that the course of things could change, or are we too ripped in iniquity? I was
Right.
asked.
I think it's ripe in iniquity, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Wow.
when you're working on 45 minutes sleep, I'm about to text Chad and ask him
Mm.
if I got some dark spirits keeping me from going night night. Um,
Yeah.
I was asked to go to the faults today, but I didn't try to create an earthquake. I sealed the earth for her to receive her glory and become celestial, which is totally different than what I've been asked to do before.
Like, you've created all these things and you were happy about creating earthquakes. Now all of a sudden, is it possible that it won't happen?
Yeah.
Uh, so Chad responds, the big earthquakes will still happen all over the world. What you have been doing is completing the spiritual preparation for what will later occur physically. The sealing of the earth that you did yesterday is a key step in preparing Mother Earth for the millennium.
So the same day, that makes perfect sense. Yesterday, I worked with Jules on the earth and we opened a new portal. It was almost as if we were opening the door to the Garden of Eden. We could both see it, and she was able to use the keys you gave her. It was amazing.
Dude, Chad got a key to the Garden of Eden. What in the world? That is
Oh,
wonderful. That's what he said.
yes, that is wonderful. So now we
Yeah.
jump to October the 19th. Hi, Chad. I just saw your post. I hope you are okay. Yesterday at the temple, I had a vision that I was helping a bride get ready and helping her with her white dress. Then I see your post today. The Lord is wonderful. So, what happened on October 19th? Tammy Daybell dies.
Yep. Yep. So he responds the next day at 10 p.m. Thank you, Zulema. I'm hanging in there. Our family has received overwhelming support. Yes, changes are underway. We have all felt Tammy nearby. She is very happy and already very busy.
Okay, so for me, like it's easy to make fun of all this hogwash up top, but this woman, the day hours after Tammy Daybell has been allegedly murdered. Oh, the Lord is wonderful. Man,
Just
it,
mean.
it blows my
Mean.
mind. So, Zulema says her work is underway. I'm happy for her. I'm also excited for what's next. I'm praying for you and your family. Much love and comfort to all of you. I hope to see you soon. Then on we're jumping way ahead. November the 16th, 2019. Could you find out more about Stacy and this redacted? How is she connected to us? Who was she in previous probations? Thank you. And then she says on the 30th. So there's no response from Chad. But at this point, they're already in Hawaii. They've gotten married. They scatter like cockroaches. Like Lori and Chad are doing Lori and Chad at this point. They have no allegiance to these people anymore.
Yeah, if you think though, it's probably on another phone
Well, that's
because you
true.
see
That's
this
true.
conversation.
Well, yeah, that's
It's
true.
like there's no way you can remember what phone you were on because I guarantee you they deleted text.
Yeah.
So you're guessing what phone number you used, I would think.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, going through all this stuff. By the way, I re-listened to that call. Hello, sweet Melanie, the other
Ugh.
day, putting notes in for the mega series. But, yeah, they did have a lot of phones.
Yeah.
And
There's
so
no way they can keep track of that.
that's true. So on November the 30th, 2019, don't forget about our vibrations, please.
Zulema is at 2,117 and Al is at 1,119, moving right along. So if you remember, their vibrations have you're supposed to keep climbing and
You could portal,
continue.
right?
Yes,
Once you hit
yes,
a certain vibration, you could portal, and that's why they went to
yeah,
temple so much.
yep.
We're starting to connect these dots, y'all. By the way, you guys have been amazing at emailing,
Mhm.
inboxing, and explaining this stuff to us, and it really helps us to understand. So just thank you guys for that. We really appreciate it.
Yeah,
So
and honestly, we know a lot of this you have no clue about either. You know what LDS and what happens in the temple and stuff like that. But a
right,
lot of this, you guys are hearing it, and you're like, "Yeah, this does not happen. It can't happen." Like,
right. This
and
is
the rules inside of that,
mhm,
and what you're supposed to do. That's what was shared with us through some LDS members. Is there was a lot of lying going on
right.
to get, and we know that some parts of the temple where they weren't allowed to be there.
Right. They made a mockery of it. I mean,
Yes.
just, thought they
Yeah.
were above everything else and to very sacred places to people who are
Yeah.
actually practicing the LDS faith in the way it should be practiced. Just,
Sure.
and I hate the way that it's put that focus,
Yep.
on the church because of these knuckleheads. So
Oh
anyways,
yeah. Yep.
so there's an incoming one on December the 1st.
This is an interesting one. That's you.
That's you.
No, that's you. It's two. I'm from.
Oh, sorry.
You do.
It's
Sucker.
you. It's you. Okay. So December 1st, 2019. Thank you. Could you find out who Ian is and how he's connected to us?
And we're assuming it's redacted, but who's the Ian that we know?
Mhm.
Yep. Chad responds, "So beautiful."
And then Zulema, do you think they left any listening devices or traps in Melaniese's house in Rexburg?
And Chad responds, "Yes, it is very likely."
And Zulema on the 3rd of December 2019, Mel and Ian are being attacked with opposition from his ex. Is it possible for you to find out who Ian is? And that's where all that
Mm,
stops. So you have to consider at this point, they have had the search warrant at the townhomes.
yeah,
Everybody has scattered to the wind. Everybody went to Vegas and got married. And it's kind of interesting that Zulema picked up on the fact that maybe Ian is kind of yeah, he was working with the FBI for a while. He was wearing a wire.
yeah. And if you think what she's talking about there is he's being attacked by um his ex, she's looking out for her kids. Remember, she
100%.
dug all the information up, found out everything, and went to Ian and said, "Look, this is who these people are."
Didn't am I wrong? I might be wrong. Did she not reach out to Brandon? As
Yes,
as
yes,
yeah. So, yeah,
yeah,
as any normal mom would do when you find out
yeah,
your husband's married into this wackadoodle group. I mean, it's
yeah,
just yeah, it's crazy. So, that's the text. Now, there are a ton of texts between Lori and Charles starting in January from, like, the day that he discovers the fake letter and realizes Lori's having an affair. There are a ton. Instead of doing them next, we are going to incorporate those into the mega series so that it makes sense on a timeline scale. Because
sure.
I'm going to tell you, we say this so much. It doesn't matter how much you know about this case. When you start putting this in a list all the way down and pull from
Mhm.
this source and this video and that interview, it tells a picture like every time. And I'm always
Yeah,
amazed at how consumed these people, their lives from the time they get up to the time they went to bed was
yeah,
consumed with this stupid made up religion.
yeah.
And you have 4 people we know were murdered at their hands. I always say 5 because of Joe Ryan, but still, I'm really excited to start this series. I really think we'll have episodes until fall.
Yeah.
Just not nonstop. I mean, we've got the Wagner trial coming up in August, huge trial. I'm really excited for that one.
Here's a question I have for our LDS listeners is where do you see these thoughts and these practices lining up? I know that was mentioned the Church of the Firstborn. Is that where you see this type of thought and belief? I mean, we understand it's totally not LDS, but where do you guys see it
You mean like the
falling.
origin of where Chad kinda grabbed on and
Yeah,
ran
just
in?
where he's getting all this stuff. We've had some say that it's from some kinda book or movie or something.
At
Um,
times it seems like a combination of movies. We say Harry Potter or,
yeah,
casting spells and casting light and casting fire. I mean,
yeah,
I think really he wanted to be a science fiction writer and he really sucked as a writer. So he just made a religion and found a bunch of like-minded people and
yeah,
went from there.
yeah,
But anyway, so we have a lot coming up, y'all. Like we say, if you have friends you've been dying to talk to about this case and they don't know where to start, we're going to start from high school with Lori, high school with Chad, and we're going forward to where we are today. It's
yep,
going to be jam packed with nothing but facts. We don't do speculation, nothing but facts. And, we're going to, that way, when this trial rolls around in January, we're all ready. We know what's
yep,
up.
yep.
So, anyways, all right, guys, have a good evening. We will see you tomorrow.